Hey everyone, it's Failed Shot back on a video, and we're back with another update with the Garrell event. I just wanted to give you a final update on all the rewards and everything that's going to be new, and also my overall thoughts on the event in its entirety, and kind of the future of events for this game. So if you do enjoy the content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into all the rewards that we're getting on this last day. So first thing is, you could see here, we have a multitude of rewards, and it's really just a combination of all three of the previous bonus rewards. So we have XP Jelly here and gold on 7. So XP Jelly on 6, gold on 7. We have ability crystals on 8, and then we have universal gear charms on 9. So this day is actually the best of all the days, assuming that you don't necessarily care about a specific type of ability crystal, and I'll get to that in a second. Because the XP Jelly and gold here are pretty much the exact same as previous, you're going to get a little less from if you were to farm during those days. But we have the universal gear charms, which is highly recommend for everyone to farm, unless you're like really stockpiled on the previous couple of days. Maybe you might want some XP jelly, or maybe you have so many of these jadelet shards that you want some gold here to use them all on the universal gear charms. So really, I'm just going to be farming the universal gear charms. And I do want to mention that these ability crystals, let me pull up my other account here. I just ran one run, and I ran another run earlier. These runs are going to be a mix of all the ability crystals in the game, except for the elite ones. So you're going to get a mix. If you want to go ahead and farm for, stockpiling in the future, this isn't a bad way to do it, because you just get every type of crystal. Now, obviously, you don't need nearly as many light and dark ones as you do the other elements. So just keep that in mind. I don't necessarily think this is a good way to do your ability farming, but, to each their own. But, again, I really recommend using the universal gear charm all throughout the day, and I'm going to be doing it myself. And I also want to mention up here, I'm sure most of you have seen it right above my head here, this new message where it says that all the resources that we have during the event will be completely gone at the end of the event. And where can we see that? Well, if we just go back to the Fire Slam, you can see here it says 23 hours remaining. Once that 23 hours is up, all your shards are going to be gone. All your Ubuntu Jadelet here are going to be gone. Everything's going to be gone. So just make sure you're using them. And for those of you that have not seen, I'll just jump into the spreadsheet real quick and go over the event stuff here so I can let you know what to buy. Now, I have not bought everything completely efficient on my account here just because I wanted to summon. I thought it'd be fun. And so I'll just go over that in just a second. But again, you'll get a ton of those Jadelet shards from the farming, especially if you're going for the gear charms. So you do want to use them all before the event's over. So let's jump to the spreadsheet and just go over the event rewards and see which ones are worth purchasing. All right, so here we are. We're on the spreadsheet. And for those of you that have not seen my previous videos, this is always in the description of my videos. And you can find it on the tab right behind my camera here. It's in the Garrell event value tab. I did not go over the value of this event. It's going to be the exact same as the gear charm ones, especially since we're literally stuck on 9.3, and they have been very similar between these two. So I'm just going to assume that the gear charms are going to be the exact same as these two, just like everything else was that we've seen previously. So there's not really much variance there. It's worth farming 100%. And then we have the costs of all these items here in the shop, and that's really we want to go over because we have today to use all of our resources, and if you don't, they disappear. So what are we going to be using our resources on? Well, here's the category we want to pay attention to. These ones are the ones that we're going to be looking at to use our Jadelet shards on to convert them into actual resources. Well, we don't really want to use them on anything but the advanced gear charms. Now, if you do want to get some of those special, the advanced summons, the ancient summoning crystals, those types of things, go ahead and do that. Those are more fun type of things. But really, getting that Raider ring, getting that the special gearbox, those types of things are very important. But after that, we have a couple of infinite things that you can get. The special gear charms are not worth purchasing. So even if those are limited Ubuntu Jadelets, this 50 limit that you could turn into those legendary gear charms, do not do that. It's more efficient to go for the advanced gear charms just straight up. And then the gold and jelly are both actually decent value compared to the rest of the event. But again, the advanced gear charms are so much better because they are so much harder to come by generally in the game. This has really broken the game open in regards to gear charms and that bottleneck and everything. So just keep that in mind. If you do stockpile a bunch of these, you could be very well prepped for the future PvP game modes that are coming out. If that interests you, even if it doesn't, future PvE game modes, you'll still be very well stockpiled. Gold and jelly are significantly easier to farm for, and I would not worry about that at all. So definitely dump all your Jadelet shards in the advanced gear charms, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and jump back to the client, and I'm going to go over the overall effect of this event and some of the, concerns and also some of the praise that a lot of people have had. So we're back at the event, and I just want to go over a couple things because first off, my initial impression of this event was already amazing. Before the bonus rewards even happened, I really enjoyed the event. I think it's a real fun event. They have a little storyline. Whether or not you care about the storyline is a completely different factor. The storyline was there. It's a decent event in regards to the more, I guess, extensive events. We have the basic events like the arena event, which actually is just going on right now. But then these events like this one compared to the winter event, they're very, very similar. They have their own shops. They earn their currency, and then you go spend the currency in the shops and hope for some really, really solid stuff. We also have the quests, and that's really, really fun. The one thing that's different from this one to the previous event was the leaderboard / guild boss type event. But again, I think that this event was seriously equal to, if not better than, the mechanics of the previous really, really awesome event, which is the winter event. That's the only one we really have to compare it to. The rewards, on the other hand, were significantly better than the winter event. Not only in the event shop, but also in the just regular farming ability in this, event map here. And I've had a couple of people concerned about this. So first off, I did want to say I personally love the event. I think it's interesting to kind of break open the bottleneck for certain items in the game at certain points. It could definitely mess up the game, and I'll get to those criticisms in a second. However, I think this is overall better for the player base at this point because the game is newer. People were concerned about the game. They were like, what are we doing? Why are we not getting these rewards? Like, the new players feel kind of shafted in some sense. This helps newer players more than it does help later game players, unless, of course, you cannot beat stage 9 and 8. But those early mid-game players to the late early game players, once you've beaten campaign, you should easily be able to go 8 and 9 too if you have the proper support unit, which you could have used my Cyrus. So if you're building your characters correctly, you should be able to be 8 and 9 too. Now, that being said, you don't even need to be 8 and 9 too to get advantage of this event. The gear charms were on 6 and 7, so that's good enough for a lot of different scenarios. And it's just going to help a lot of people accelerate their game progress. And this kind of jumps into the criticisms of the event. Is a lot of people are worried about the reward saturation, the ability for people to complete content significantly faster than they were previously. And these are all valid criticisms. And honestly, I've had similar ones to this game myself, how the game is on the easier side of gacha games and the progress is significantly faster than other games. However, I think overall that this event was perfect in a sense that the game is newer. Getting a PR win, getting a community win like this is very, very important for these types of games. And I think overall that's just going to be better off in the long run than perhaps significantly bottlenecking people. That could just make people angry. And then obviously when you have so little coverage on the game compared to a lot of these other gacha games, those 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, whatever it is, players that are getting angry because they're not able to complete some content because either they're not have as much time invested or they don't go out and watch the videos, that obviously could hurt the game way, way, way more than just, perhaps completing content earlier. Now, again, I see the criticism, and I just think that the event overall was better off for the game than not having or reducing the rewards by a significant portion. So I really like this event. I highly recommend you farm the universal gear charms. I'm going to be doing so, and we'll see what the patch is like tomorrow. I believe the patch notes should be coming out tomorrow, so I'm going to do a video on that as well. And that'll be it for this video, and I will see you for the next one.